Hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 3 of 8 days of unshakable power, quantum gifts, and your highest truth. So, hold on for a minute because I just went live and I just want to wait for everyone to find me here and join me if they can. Let's see here. We can make sure everything's working. I just had a beautiful day. I spent the afternoon in deep conversation with the most beautiful young man. It's so good to see the young people awakening, coming into their gifts. Is just a really great conversation we had. And then I had a nice yoga session, and here I am with all of you. And so this is perfect. All right, so I'm just going to recap a little bit. Day 1 was talking about illuminating our soul, illuminating the spirit within us, coming into that alignment and recognizing when you're out of alignment, which is super important that we start to see that and be able to consciously then shift ourselves back into alignment. So when we're out of alignment, we're frustrated, we're consumed with things that are going on around us in the outside world. We maybe are in fear, we're afraid to move forward, or we don't know what to do, and maybe trying to force things forward. It's the same as I had said, going down that street and hitting all the red lights, and it makes you stop and stop and stop, and it does not feel good. But when you're in alignment, you've got that flow. You're hitting all those green lights. Hey, Kelly, hi. So that was day 1, was coming into that illuminated spirit. Day 2, which was yesterday, is your life as art. So looking at your life as a piece of art and consciously making a plan each day. So the same way we would do it is if we were going to decide to write a book, we would have a plan. We'd have a topic, we'd have a goal, we'd have, a layout of the chapters and a framework for it. And the same as if you're going to create a painting, you're going to have a composition and you're going to look at that composition and maybe sketch it out first and have a plan, a framework. And very clearly, what came through for us too was a reminder that the sacred geometry is the framework underneath the quantum energy field, that everything that seems like it's coming out of chaos, out of no order, is actually coming from a very clear order. And so, as much as we sink into our intuition and our guidance and inspiration, we also are very much a part of that plan, and we can bring it into fruition, bring it into materialized in our world, our physical world, by consciously creating every day and being willing to step up and do that. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, what came up for you yesterday when you did? I want you to think about it here. When you started to look at giving yourself permission to be who you are, giving yourself permission to know who you are, and giving yourself permission to be clear on what it is that you want, because we're not going anywhere till we figure that out, right? Till we figure out, well, what do I want? What do I want to create in this world? And if you did that and you got serious about it, you probably found that you were bumping up against a few things, right? Um, That's when all those limiting beliefs start to come up, all of the roadblocks, the things that, we say in our head, whether we're even conscious of it or not. It's like, oh, well, that'll never happen. Or who am I to want that? My gosh, like who am I to want that? Um, we worry about what people will think. People will think that I'm greedy or selfish or self-centered or vain, and think I'm all that, right? So there's a lot of things that are going to come up, and we're going to bump into that. And it's really important that we become aware of all those things. Um, Worrying that people will pull away from you, that friends will not want to be around you anymore, that they won't be able to connect with you. And so you shy away from your dreams because of all these fears that are peeking up. And when we don't consciously address them, when we just kind of let them float around in the background, those will stop you from going forward. Those will absolutely stop you from creating anything that you want. You'll be running on the spot. And so one of the things that's really super important is that you take some time to list it out. Make a list of all the thoughts that come through your mind. Like, you know, a lot of times that who am I to do that? Who am I to ask for that? Will come up. And write that down, right? And if you saw, I did an email not too long ago about that, actually, with the channeled message that came through about who are you? Who exactly are you to not do that? Who are you to hold back the pure potential that you have? And so the whole journey here is about softening into our hearts, softening in that self compassion, having compassion for yourself, having compassion for you to look at that and go, oh, I didn't even realize I was thinking that, but oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, I am afraid that if I go too far in my dreams, then my friends are going to leave me behind because they're not going to feel comfortable around me anymore, right? So we start to list them out, pay attention to what it is that's going through our minds with consciously or unconsciously, and then start to hold that with a little bit of compassion. So if you can imagine tapping into compassion, just take a minute and really think about where in my life do I need to give myself a little bit more compassion? Where do I need to soften up a little bit? Where am I really hard on myself? We say so many nasty things to ourselves that we would never say to somebody else. But we could also, in our own minds and hearts, take time to be more compassionate for ourselves. We can stop and think, okay, compassion. I've been kind of hard on myself. I'm going to give myself a break. Allow myself to be human. Maybe I've made a big mistake. I feel guilty about it. I feel a little bit of shame there. I feel embarrassment. Or maybe I've made decisions in the past that haven't served very well. And now I want to just soften on that and go, okay, I'm human. It's okay to be human. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to laugh at yourself a little bit, lighten up. It's okay to be a little bit lazy, right? It's okay to take breaks and watch Netflix and be present with yourself. It's okay that you didn't get everything done. It's okay. Nobody really cares because they're too busy in their own lives to worry about you. And so what I find that when I take when I take the time to be a little bit more compassionate with myself, there's a softness that comes in. And this softness creates more space. And it also, compassion brings me into presence. It brings me right here, right now, instead of thinking about what I should have done or what I should do. It just comes right here, right now. It actually releases gripping and tightness that I'm holding around me. That tough expectation that we hold for ourselves, right? We all do it. And so for us to be in alignment, there needs to be softness. There needs to be compassion. And instead of beating ourselves up and being critical and judgmental about ourselves. And as we learn to do this, it leads us into healing. And that's what I want to talk about tonight is healing. Because this is going to happen naturally for us as you become more and more soulfully aligned, as you become more soul centered, more aligned in your heart and start to lead from your heart, you're going to find that there is this compassion that comes through, this light, this beauty, this grace that says it's okay to be you. It's okay to be you. It's okay to move forward. You're safe. We got you, right? It's all good. But our minds will keep playing little games with us. And so becoming very, very conscious and aware of those thoughts that are coming through our minds is super important. And so as we walk through the soulfully aligned journey, which is what we do in the certification program, week by week by week, we become aware of these thoughts, these behaviors, these patterns, and they just naturally come up to be healed. We're not digging in to try and find anything. They will naturally emerge. When the time is right for that part to be healed, it naturally bubbles up to the surface. And what people are finding right now is because we have a lot of higher frequencies coming into the world right now, more and more people are waking up, more and more consciousness is rising. It's it's causing people that are not fully aware, not conscious, that are very much wrapped up in our physical world, in the do, in the achievements, and the moving forward and saving for retirement and, all those things. It's causing them to get irritated and angry and frustrated because things aren't going right. Right? And so, because these higher frequencies are saying, hello, we need to lighten the load here, right? We need to get some of this crap out so that we can move forward. But these people are like, no, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that nonsense. I just want to keep moving forward. And so we need to have compassion for them because their cage is getting rattled and they don't know what's going on. They're having trauma, right? Trauma is happening, which is not a bad thing because as trauma happens, it wakes them up. They start to go soul deep after the trauma. That does wake a lot of people up. Some people just wake up when the time is right. It's like, hey, I think there's more to this life. I think I want more to this than just work and, you know, achievements. And other people need the trauma in order to wake them up. And that's okay. And that's why we're here. And that's why I'm doing a certification program here to get more and more and more of us ready to hold space for these people because that's we're doing this together. We're in the age of Aquarius. This is a time of linking arms, of gathering together, of doing things together, families coming together, businesses coming together and working together, circles, women's circles coming up, men's circles, creative circles, people learning how to channel for themselves. This is where we're headed. It's happening. And I heard that Eckhart Tolle said, the new world is already here. It's just the old world is making so much noise dying. So something along that line. Anyways, it's taken a long time because it's making so much noise dying. If we could just move into the new world, everything would be fine. But that's hard for a lot of people. And it would, I started this journey, well, I started when I was a kid, but they seriously started back in 2003. That was the year that I really went. No, it wasn't 2003. It was 1993. Missed 10 years there. It was 1993, 93, 94, 95, in that area. I got really serious into learning about, you know, um, energy and what's going on and why am I having these visions and seeing things and why am I um, getting these synchronicities in my life? Like, holy man, there must be something more going on here because that was a miracle, right? That started for me back then. And if I'd have just jumped into it like today, it's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of energetic frequencies coming in. Every time we have, um, a solstice or an equinox, every time we have a portal like 777, 888 is coming up here in August. Um, you know, every time we have one of those, more energy comes in. It's like whoosh, like a wave, right? A wave of energy coming in. And if we're conscious of it, if we're paying attention, then we can open up to receive that fully. We can take space in our life to go, okay, universe, I feel that. And then let it take time to integrate into our physical bodies. But if we're in the go, 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 go mode and totally unconscious of there being this other dimension in the world, this other realms, then it's gonna shake it up. Like for some reason, I'm feeling really emotional today. I don't know, you're irritating me. Stop talking to me, right? That's gonna happen. Why would you listen to me? You're not listening to me. This is what's going on. And so you're probably bumping up against other people too. You're probably feeling it in your own life, witnessing it. And so the guidance is to be compassionate for everyone, that we are all going through a lot right now, a lot of changes, a lot of shifts, a lot of growth. But what we really need to heal right now is that feeling of victimization, the feeling of being the victim. What we really need is for humanity to come out of that and start to take responsibility and say, wait a minute, I'm not a victim in this world. I'm not a victim of circumstance. Hi, Narita. I am here and I'm purposefully creating. And stop blaming other people. Stop blaming the government. Stop blaming circumstances and start to look at, okay, so what's going on, right? When we look at our divine feminine, our divine masculine, what I was thinking today was about alignment, right? Alignment here. So our center core, our heart aligned below to the earth and straight up to the universe, the heart of the universe, my heart, the heart of Mother Earth, all aligned together. And when I'm standing in that alignment, in that crystalline core, that crystalline pillar of light, when I'm standing in that, I am aligned and balanced and strong. And I'm aligned with both my masculine and feminine, divine, masculine, divine, feminine. And I almost saw it like a helix, right? Masculine, feminine coming up, reaching all the way up to pure love and reaching all the way down to pure support, pure alignment. When we're too much in masculine or too much in feminine, then we're off kilter, right? We're leaning back and forth. It's not working, right? Too much masculine is aggressive, right? Controlling, abusive, non-communicative. There's a need for control. If we're in the masculine, it's like I gotta control this. I gotta know what's happening. I gotta have a clear outline. Come on, give me the details, right? There's the need to be validated. No, I'm not wrong. You need to validate me. This is right. I'm right, right? It's very like it's an unhealthy competition. It's power hungry. That's our masculine when it's out of alignment. Our feminine out of alignment is very much the victim too, and masculine can be the victim too because not seeing anyone else, right? Um, insecure, codependent, and not authentic, not being authentically you. Manipulative. So here we get into the parts of the feminine that need healing. The wounds that we've taken on as women have been like women against women is vicious, right? Very manipulative, very whiny, right? Spoiled child comes to mind. Also, she's very manipulative with men, and she'll use her seduction to get what she wants from the man instead of being that beautiful, soulful, divine, feminine, open, like sexy, sensual, open, receiving. And the man rises up and says, yes, this is my woman. I'm going to take care of her. And I'm talking man woman because that's my experience. So I apologize to anybody watching this that may not have that type of relationship. It's what I know. I have to speak to what I know. But it would work the same way, right? You know, if you are the beautiful, sensual woman who is loving and open to her man, but is not manipulating him, is able to also be strong and stand for herself and make her own money and take care of herself, then our divine masculine rises up and says, this is the woman that I want. I don't want a woman that's clingy. I don't want a woman that I have to constantly be making money and being in a job I hate because she needs more money, she needs more support, she needs me to take care of her. No, as soon as we can heal our wounds and rise up into our divine feminine, our men will also rise up into the divine masculine. I know this will happen. It's balance. It's called balance in the universe. It's sacred and it will happen. But the problem is with us women, we're afraid of each other because we've hurt each other so badly. We've scorned each other, we've criticized each other, we've condemned each other, we've we've been judgmental, we've been shunned by other women. I mean, who doesn't have a story of a sister or a girlfriend that you trusted completely wounding you? Yeah, and absolutely me too. And so we protect ourselves and we won't be open. We're afraid to be open. We've had that experience of I was open, I was soft, and I got hurt. It's like, yeah, discernment is good, but when we can look at that other woman and say, you know what, honey, it's okay. I've been where you are because she's lashing out from anger and hurt too. She's been hurt. But when we react to hurt and they react to hurt and the sisterhood wounds and the mother wounds and the guilt wounds, the money wounds, like all of these things, right? So what we need to do is to be healing it within ourselves, to be looking at that part of us. What part of me doesn't trust my sister? What part of me feels judged by her? And why? And really, can I find my strength and my center and be strong enough to say, you know what? It's okay that she judged me because I know who I am. I know who I am. So the feminine that is healed, the divine feminine, when we are standing in the divine feminine, we're intuitive, we're receiving, we're creative, we're open, that's our channel coming through. That's the beautiful goddess. And then when we can link up with the masculine within us too, then we can get things done, right? Then we can be strong and not need to be saved. All the princess stories. Oh my goodness. I loved the princess stories where the prince saves the princess. I was totally a romantic growing up and through my teenage years. I was waiting for my prince to come in and save me from the life that I was living. You don't need to be saved, right? And it's never too late for us to step into that strength and go, wait a minute, I am not a victim, and I will not let myself fall back into that victim role because I spent and I'm talking about me, I've spent many years there. I spent many years waiting for something to happen to save me. It's like it was well into my 40s before I stood up and went, wait a minute, no one's coming to save me. Time for me to stand on my own 2 feet, right? Time for me to get strong and to create the life that I want. Time for me to say, nothing's going to change until I change, until I create it. And so, how do we heal these things? How do we keep moving forward? We keep coming together in circle because that is healing. That begins to build trust again in groups, in circles, in communities. At a time when it feels like the world is falling apart, our little circles are so important for us. Awareness when it comes up. So here's the thing, when you get triggered by somebody, when somebody does something, says something, and this is huge in the world right now because it's like going rampant, right? Somebody says something that triggers you. And when I say triggered, I mean it makes you react emotionally. What? What did you just say? Right? It's up to me. If I'm triggered, it's up to me to look at that, to go, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to take some time here to calm down because I need it. And then I'm going to look at, okay, why was I triggered by that? What's going on? Why did that person trigger me so badly? There's got to be something going on inside of me, or it would have been water off a duck's back, right? That's how we heal. That's how we start to heal. Instead of pointing your finger back and going, "You're bad. You should never say that. You're a horrible person. I don't want to be around you anymore. Cancel you. Cancel." That is not happening too much. hmm And too much blame and too much shame going on in the world. We need to heal ourselves individually. We need to heal. We need to come together in groups to help us heal, to keep conversations going, right? And to rise up in that divine feminine. And the men are doing the work to rise up into their balance between divine feminine, divine masculine. So we all need that balance within each of us. So think about it in your own life. Where are you more masculine or more too feminine? Too much like laying on the couch waiting for someone to bring things to you, right? Too masculine is too like bossy. Come on, this is what we got to do. This is what we're doing today. Boom, 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 boom. Here's your list. Make sure you get it all done, right? And too feminine is too dreamy, too unfocused. Like, so there's got to be that coming together and balancing. And like I said, I saw it like a helix because I feel like that's the dance. We do. We dance back and forth. It's not ever going to be perfect, but we're going to catch ourselves. We go to the too much masculine or too much feminine. It's like, okay, time to get things done. Get off my butt. Time to make some framework here to move forward on the dreams. Or I've been pushing too hard. I'm forcing instead of going with the flow. And that actually brings in the whole thing about becoming more aware, and this is part of the quantum, becoming more aware of the flow in the universe, the flow of nature around us. We are in a world that cycles through seasons, that cycles through like moon phases, full moon, new moon, back again to full moon, new moon. And that those are like waves that we need to learn how to ride in our world and become more in sync, because then we are flowing with the natural energy and things get done, right? It is a beautiful dance with nature. That is why we look at these portals and these astrological movements and the solstices and the equinoxes and the gateways that open up for us. Even as simple as like, oh, it's Monday. Monday's fresh new start. Each morning, fresh new start, right? These are beautiful ways to stay in flow. And when you find yourself pushing and pushing and pushing, then we know we're too masculine. Okay, we need to back it off a bit. Focus on our alignment, focus on being, focus on more play, more creativity, right? Get into that flow so that we're receiving the inspiration and the guidance, and then move forward again to get things done. All right. Okay. I feel like one last thing I want to say. One last thing. This healing journey is an ongoing journey throughout our whole life. It's not something, we're not broken, okay? It's not something that we have to fix ourselves first in order to be the mystic, the soulfully aligned person or leader. It's an ongoing process of growth, of expansion, of awareness, of opening up. hiring our consciousness. And we have all had a tough journey. We've all got wounds. We've all gone through that underworld journey. And so we're not broken. We're stronger than ever because all of that underworld journey has maybe cracked us a little bit, but we're filling it in with gold, right? We are bigger, stronger, wiser because of it. And there's always beautiful things that come out of our journey. But we're holding so much shame and guilt around it that we're clinging to that underworld journey. When we can release and let go, have more compassion for ourselves, that we did the best we could with what we knew, we can start to move forward and we can start to use our story to help us move forward and say, wait a minute, yeah, I learned a lot from that. hmm I hurt some people. Ah, yeah, we all have. And that is not what we meant to do, right? We're human beings. We're humans and we react, especially when things come at you and you don't expect it. You react. You're human. You're a human being. You're allowed to be human. And then we learn and we grow and we move forward and we expand and we get bigger and wiser. And yeah, we do the healing step by step. And it's a beautiful journey. And we become the wise women. And we can look back at the younger ones and go, reach our hand out to them and say, we got you. Come on, come this way. I hope this serves you tonight. A little bit more of a serious one after day one and day two, but limiting beliefs, injuries, wounds, patterns, ancestral patterns, these are all things that are getting cleared out right now, big time. And as we're doing the work, we're actually rippling that out to people around us. So we are helping the ones we love. All right. So I hope you enjoyed those. Tomorrow is day 4, and tomorrow I will be coming in the afternoon. What are we talking about? I'm not sure yet because I'm just walking with spirit. I'm just letting spirit come through. I had an idea tonight. I was like, okay, we're going to talk about compassion and we're going to talk, I kind of think about it the night before. I go, like, what makes sense to move into next? Yeah, the feminine wounds. But then a whole bunch more came out tonight than I expected. So this is the beautiful part of walking with soul, walking with your soul and spirit and creating space. All right. You guys have a beautiful night. And thank you if you're watching the replay. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye for now. Mwah.